I think my goals in life right now is to make enough money so that I can live on my artwork, because I'm working on I'm writing a comic, and I'm working on the art for it. But
so you're like a comic artist.
Yeah, it takes a long time though, because most comics have about 7 writers.
Right, but you're the only one.
I'm the only writer. Like even The Simpsons, like The Simpsons have 7 writers.
Yeah.
Most TV shows have about 7 writers.
Yeah.
So it's.
And you're doing the art as well, so you're doing the whole thing on your own. What is this about? Spoilers?
Yeah, spoilers. I guess I can do some spoilers. So, it's more kind of like a slice of life story. So it's about a guy who wants to be an author. So he wants to write an autobiography.
Okay.
And so he goes to a small town, and in search of someone who has a really good life story.
Right.
And then he'll write it down. But everybody in this town are boring, and the town is rich with history, but nobody has anything really. No one's really interesting enough for him to write the story.
Right.
So then he meets this girl, and she says, "Well, why don't we just make somebody up?" So.
Okay.
So he's like, you can't do that. And she's like, yeah, but most people over embellish anyway. So the whole story is just him and her writing this fake person from beginning to end throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
So there's a whole reason for that, but I don't want to give that away.
Right.
But the comic's called Ghostwriter.
Okay.
Because if you write someone else's autobiography, it's called ghostwriting.
Right.
And then that's pretty much the, yeah.
So this is supposed to be like one, like, standalone type of thing, or what?
Yeah, it's like a limited series kind of thing. So like probably be about 12 issues.
Okay. So how much of it have you got like done?
So far I got most of the writing done. Character design, character art. I need an architect, someone who can help me with the background art.
Okay.
I am trying to get another writer. And
to edit your stuff? Like, because if you've already done mostly.
I'm probably, right now I'm through the first couple novels, but I need to get through. Because what I did was I wrote a novel, but then I'm going to split the graphic novel into about 12 different issues, right? Each chapter is probably going to be one issue, and each issue is probably going to be about 30 art pages if I can manage that.
Mm-hmm.
But major production teams that work on comic books like Naruto and stuff like that, it takes them over a whole month for a whole team to make a book. So, but there's this app that called Webtoons.
Okay.
And it's for independent artists to put their comics on there.
Okay.
And there's this one called Lore of Olympus, and that one got picked up by Netflix, and that one's really popular.
So they turned it into a show, basically.
Yeah, like there's a lot of exposure on Webtoons, so it's smarter to start with Webtoons, I would say, than to go straight into physical production, like making the books outright.
So that's what you're planning to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's an interesting system. It's like a coin system. So every time you watch an ad, you get coins.
Okay.
And you can use the coins to purchase a chapter of the book to read it.
Okay.
And every time you watch an ad, my team would get funded. And then then there's Patreon. So if you're on the Patreon, then you'd get, for like $1 a month, you'd get free access to every issue that ever came out.
Right.
So it's just like stuff like that.
Interesting.
That's kind of the plan. I have not got that far yet.
So how long you been like thinking about doing this comic thing?
Since I was about 14.
And you're 27 now.
27.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I jumped. So I never went to high school, and I jumped straight into the labor force.
You never went to high school.
No.
You just like, how did that happen?
I got pulled out of school in grade 2, and so I was like more or less homeschooled, but not.
Why were you pulled out of school at grade 2?
There was some kid was shot at my sister's school. And which is weird because it's like Windsor. When I was 8, I think it was Northwood.
Okay.
And so, my mom freaked out, pulled us all out, and she said she's gonna homeschool us, but it didn't really work out that way. And so,
what way did it work out?
Well, like when I was about 14, the education wasn't. My mom was going through stuff, and so we kind of just like the education kind of just dwindled.
Did you have like a stay-at-home mom at least, or like?
Oh yeah, my mom would stay at home, but I don't know. I don't think she can keep up with the.
Probably not.
So,
bro, I used to teach like high school shit, and I can't do it now. So I don't know how your mom would have.
Well, there's 6 of us, so.
Yeah, it's even worse.
So when I turned about 19, I went to St. Clair College for upgrading.
Okay.
And so I upgraded like English, all that stuff like that.
Well, if you didn't go to high, like, what are you upgrading? You're upgrading to like a high school degree or what?
Yeah.
And they do that at St. Clair.
Yeah, it's the ACE program. Yeah.
Interesting. I had no idea.
And it's a free program where they basically they assess you. They can kind of tell what level you're at, and then they give you everything you need: computer, biology.
But grade 2 was the last time you went to like school.
To school, right? So like,
at no point was your mom like, all right, never mind.
What?
Like maybe I overreacted. No, she was just like,
never.
Even though none of your classmates presumably were pulled out like you.
No.
None of her friends had.
Nothing like that. No, it was at my sister's schools. Our school was fine, but we all still got pulled out. But yeah, I went to St. Clair, upgraded, and I'm probably on my last year of labor force, and then I'm halfway through getting the comic done. So I got all my I got my computer, all my digital art kit now. I had to go digital.
Okay.
Because digital's kind of the way of the future.
Right.
You can draw.
It's kind of the way of the present, man. Never mind the future.
I'm like, I don't know how to use a computer, so I'm like, it's all new, but.
So, like, how did you feel about this? I'm sorry, like, I know we started about comics, but I'm just like, I've never heard of anything like that. I've heard of people who dropped out of high school, not people that dropped out of grade 3, so.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild.
It was interesting because we lived out in the county, so, for most of it, so, isolated. The only neighbors we had were the Renos, and they were just like these rednecks that drank a lot. And then the other one was just this blueberry farmer.
Okay, so there's no sense of like, well, everybody else is doing this thing and I'm not, or whatever. It's just like, this is life.
I know. But I ended up making one of my best friends though, because the blueberry farmer's daughter. Right. She's awesome. So we're still friends today, but.
She went to school with like other kids, I assume.
Yeah, she went to school. She went far. She's been through university multiple times already. She's very successful.
So after all these years, like, do you have any, like, if you could go back, would you have any questions for your mom or now or whatever? Does this topic ever come up? Like.
Yeah, I think I decided to let it rest.
Just let it rest.
Yeah, let it go. Move forward. I decided that when I went to St. Clair for the upgrade, I was like, all right.
So what are you doing now? Like,
right now I'm a power washer.
Okay.
I clean like half the city, like heavy machinery.
Oh shit!
It's like
you've probably honked behind me a bunch of times.
Probably, but yeah, it's pretty much it.
And you've been doing that for a while then.
Yeah, I've 7 years now, I think. Power washing, but now it's time to.
Get that comic book running.
I also have a coloring book business that I started. It's called printtocolor.com. Okay. And it was an idea that basically I would just draw as much art as I can, and then you can just buy the PDF files and then print them at home.
When did you start? Like, so you must be a pretty good artist. I'm assuming you started like early as well.
Yeah, I started drawing when I was about 11. I'm okay. I'm not like too bad.
But you have your own website, which. Is it like, do you sell PDFs here, or what happens? Like,
yeah, so I sell the PDF files there. Let's see if I can.
For a guy who says I don't know how to use computers, you're ahead of the game.
This is like
most people.
Yeah.
Here, where can I find these somewhere? Like, to plug in here? Because I can see them, but they can't see it.
Well, maybe what I'll do is, are you on Instagram or no?
Yeah, RideLight.clips, man. That's where it's at.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me write this down. So how do you spell it? What is it?
RideLight.
Oh, sweet.
All right.
Hell yeah. All right. It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, man. Best of luck with the thing. I'll be waiting for some updates of some sort on your comic. Yeah.
All right.
I hope it all goes well.
You'll be the first to know.
I hope so.
Take it easy.
All right, man. Take care. See ya.
You.